Hey guys, it's me, Sam Stein, managing editor at the Bulwark, here with my partner in crime, Andrew Egger, author of Morning Shots. We just got through with a Trump press conference, an impromptu one. He hadn't scheduled it on his daily guidance, but he added it. It was to mark Jeanine Pirro's interim appointment to U.S. Attorney for District of Columbia, but he took some questions, as he's prone to do. And there was a kind of hilarious moment, but it foreshadows a potentially serious problem for us, where Trump was asked about what is it, the taco trade?
The taco trade, man. It's the hot new thing in all the financial markets.
Did you know about this before, like literally 10 minutes ago?
No, I think this was kind of like an inside joke for like Financial Times columnists.
It's not actual tacos. It's an acronym, and it stands for Trump always chickens out. And it's about his approach to tariffs. And I guess this is a thing on Wall Street where they just assume Trump's going to chicken out on the tariffs. I want to play it with Andrew because there's so many elements to this video that are worth a watch. Before we do, subscribe to the feed. Always subscribe to the feed. All right. I'm not going to ask you for your thoughts because I want to play it and then get your thoughts. Let's play the video. And on the other side, I'll bring in Andrew.
Mr. President, Wall Street analysts have coined a new term called the taco trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out?
Chicken out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And I said you have to open up your whole country, and because I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now. And I said, okay, I'll give you. You got to watch
Jeanine Pirro's face.
I actually asked them, I said, what's the date? Because they weren't willing to meet. And after I did what I did, they said, we'll meet anytime you want. And we have an end date of July 9th. You call that chickening out? Because we have $14 trillion now invested, committed to investing when Biden didn't have practically anything. This country was dying. You know, we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I went to Saudi Arabia. The king told me. He said, you got the hottest we have the hottest country in the world right now. 6 months ago, this country was stone cold dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people didn't think it was going to survive, and you ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation. You set a number. And if you go down, if I set a number at a ridiculous high number and I go down a little bit, they want me to hold that number, 145% tariff. Even I said, man, that really got up. You know how it got? Because of fentanyl and many other things, and you added it up. I said, where are we now? We're at 145%. I said, whoa, that's high. That's high. They were doing no business whatsoever, and they were having a lot of problems. We were very nice to China. I don't know if they're going to be nice to us, but we were very nice to China. And in many ways, I think we really helped China tremendously because, they were having great difficulty because we were basically going cold turkey with China. We were doing no business because of the tariff, because it was so high. But I knew that. But don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty question. Go ahead. To me, that's the nastiest question. Wait a minute.
All right. First of all, I don't know who asked the question, but that took some balls. Your thoughts?
For real? No, okay. I almost felt bad. Like a little bit of me almost felt bad for him up there. The poor guy. I mean, he's just spinning his wheels like crazy. I mean, like, oh, come on. Like, no, there's no good answer. I mean, like it's totally true. It's totally true. Like, he previously he kind of rattled the fear of Trump into the markets, right? For a couple of months where they were like, he can't really mean this stuff. Really? Can he really mean this? And he's like, no, I mean it. I fucking love tariffs. Tariffs are everything to me. I'm doing the tariffs now. And then the markets went absolutely berserk. And like 2 seconds later, he was like, actually, you know what? We're not doing the tariffs. We're out of the deal. We're pulling it all back. 145, that's pretty high. That's a little high. Even I think that's a little high. And ever since then, he's kept slapping these things on, taking these things off, slapping these things on, taking these off, and the markets have not reacted because they are actually pricing these things in now, right? I mean, it's totally true. They're ignoring him. They're pretending they're doing the taco trade.
So why do you feel bad for him?
Oh, it's hard to watch anybody up there just sort of spinning their wheels with that chyron across his chest, Donald Trump. Let the record say, I did not chicken out. Janine Pirro in the background, doing
Janine's
her poker face.
Yeah, she's like, what am I doing here? I gave up a great Fox News gig for this. No, it was first of all, I had no idea that this was a thing, but secondly, it's true. I've been talking about this with Tim. Tim and I have this running gag about taking the over-under on whether he's going to lift the tariffs. And I always take the under. He's always going to lift them. He never, ever, ever follows through. It's always, and he's even out there. I'd like, the best part is the admission where he's like, I'm just setting these absurdly high numbers so that I can bring it down somewhere and then proclaim victory. He's like definitely pulling the curtain back.
Hey, man, haven't you ever heard of negotiating? I don't know. Like, I totally. Like, I think a couple months ago, you can probably roll back.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to give away you're not supposed to just say out loud, that's what I'm doing.
Right.
It sort of defeats the purpose.
Yeah. No, look, I'm going to start with a crazy high number, and that's going to put the fear of God into you and soften you up for me. Well, now it's not. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't before, and now it's definitely not. But I think if you look back at some of our videos talking about this tariff stuff, like from early April or whatever, I was probably taking the over relative to your under, because I mean, it was hard. The guy loves tariffs. Like, we know that's like his deepest held belief is that tariffs are just really good for you.
But he loves negotiating more than tariffs, right?
And it's starting to really look like, that kind of like early April, like Liberation Day. And then the back off of that is like the pivot from like the first act to the second act of the Trump presidency.
There is the possibility that by asking this question and injecting the taco trade into Trump's mind and the zeitgeist, this reporter has inadvertently perhaps led us into an incredible trade war.
Yes,
and that we will now tank the economy at a peak. But I'm a little bit worried about that.
You can't discount that at all. I mean, he said it himself. He's like, that's such a nasty question. He said, that's the nastiest question, which is true.
I mean, like,
watch
this.
If you're Trump, like, what's a question that like hits at the core of his self-identity harder than analysts who handle billions of dollars are now making the financial bet that you are not going to follow through on what you say. Your response to that, like, it's like, what does he say? It's absurd because these people are not like, he wants these people to be making a bet on America's golden age, right? He wants these people to be saying like, we're all in with Trump, like they were when he first got elected, and now it's exactly the opposite.
The latest chicken out happened a couple days ago, where I guess out of nowhere he sort of bleated that he was gonna put a 50% tariff on EU and went off on Tim Cook for some reason and all this stuff, and then 2 days ago, he announces that he's actually, in fact, going to negotiate a trade deal before the 50% tariff takes effect, and then he's going to delay those tariffs until July 9th. Yet another punt in the tariffs. So, Andrew, I'm up on Polymarket. I'm up there all day. I'm just making money left and right. They have a bet for the percentage chance that those 50% tariffs go into effect on the EU by July 9th. What do you think the percentage chance is right now per Polymarket? Do not look.
What, you're asking me a trivia question about where Polymarket sits right now?
What do you think? Yeah, what do you think Polymarket's percentage? What the bettors think is the percentage chance that those tariffs will go into effect on July 9th?
25%.
Too high. 15%. No one believes he's going to go through with it. The taco is the new zeitgeist. It's everyone's belief about Trump. He's just a chicken.
Who's this guy? Who's this guy who coined the taco trade? I ran it down a minute ago. Robert Armstrong. Look, congratulations to Robert Armstrong with Financial Times. You don't necessarily expect, as a Financial Times columnist, to like.
It sounds like a great morning shots. A little Robert Armstrong mini profile.
Yeah. Let's hit him up. No, it's so true. It's what's happening. It's the taco trade until it's not. Until he decides that he cannot possibly. He can't possibly reward this kind of behavior. He's got to. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Maybe tomorrow the Dow will drop 80% as he slaps every Liberation Day tariff back on and says
and tags Robert on his bleat.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Robert.
It opens a criminal investigation into him. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, have fun in El Salvador, Robert. All right, Andrew, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for talking tacos with me. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching on the YouTubes. Appreciate that. Subscribe to the feed. We'll talk to you soon.